Shalom and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Today we're going to discuss the connection between something mentioned in this week's Torah reading and the time of the year we currently find ourselves in. Namely, it is mentioned that the Yortzeit, the day of passing of Aharon, Moshe's brother, is the first of Av, which will be this coming week. We also find ourselves during the period known as the 3 weeks, which is when we mourn the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. So just as when it comes to the Yortzeit, the day of passing of a righteous person, of a tzaddik, that on the one hand we mourn this great loss, at the same time we use the opportunity to reinvigorate ourselves with the teachings and life lessons from that righteous person. And then when we go about our lives, living them according to those teachings, then we have now made as if that righteous person still lives. Just as the Talmud says about Yaakov Avinu, that Mazare b'chaim, afhu b'chaim. That just as his children, Yaakov's children, are alive, so too is he alive. So when we live with the teachings of the righteous individual, of the tzaddik, then it is as if they are alive. So too when it comes to the temple. When we find ourselves in the 3 weeks, we are reminded of the great loss that we have, that we no longer have a home, a place for Hashem, a place where we can go and see and feel an open and conscious connection with Hashem. But at the same time, just as Hashem told the prophet Ezekiel, that if we study the laws of the temple, if we know what it looked like, if we know the vessels that contained within it, and we know what their function was, then it is as if we have begun the rebuilding process. This, of course, is also, besides for taking advantage of this opportunity and studying the laws and the vision of the temple, that we are reminded, if God forbid we do experience a level of loss in our own lives, with whatever challenge it is that we may be facing, on the one hand we can focus on the destruction, we can focus on the loss, we can focus on the challenge and the difficulty, but at the same time we can focus on the lessons we can take from it, and on getting busy with building the next stage and chapter, and then indeed that will usher in the upcoming stage. But most importantly, by us studying the laws of this temple of the house of Hashem, we will actively bring the coming of Mashiach closer. May that be today. Shabbat Shalom. And remember, you matter, so make a difference.